So it may not look like much of an area, but this is the Mob Museum in Las Vegas. Mob Museum, downtown Grand. It's like, this is downtown. The Strip is not considered downtown in Las Vegas.
The city most brazenly defiant of prohibition laws, Chicago, became known as the mob capital of the country. America was one big speakeasy, and the underworld was supplying the booze.
Getting older, dropout, crazy, Bugsy, con artist.
Coming to this country as an immigrant has never been easy. America is a land of opportunity, but also of competition and hard. Some Italians did live within a secret criminal society that went back generations and systems. That's not all organized crime was Italian. In New York, there were Irish gangs, Jewish gangs, all
It was called organized crime for a reason. Individual gangs were connected to a highly structural criminal network, or syndicate, complex ties to the organization.
You would have seen stores that
Never heard of Black Hand.
You would have seen a hotel, a saloon. You would have seen
Because the global capital of adult entertainment.
a small
Anything was possible in Las Vegas is opposite.
Some black men owned a few
Survey of the Surveys, Creek Counter, Arizona Club. This is just the founding of Las Vegas. Murder suicide feeling worth. 19 about 30 non-native people live in the doctor. Most of them, one of the branches run by Hellas. Several letters she believed were dead. Murdered suicide. Forensic study, the brothers were murdered. Legend in its own time. Patrons of the Arizona Club in 1907 included Wyatt Earp, the famous gunslinger from the OK Corral. The Arizona Club. Oh, the Arizona Club landed dice. Slot machine. Jesus Christ, they've come a long way. We'll do on a Saturday night when. Hoover Dam, Silver Years. Hoover Dam, obviously named after Herbert Hoover, who commissioned it. The non-opt to legalize prostitution and gambling as early in 1930s. Unintended consequences of prohibition. Drinking instead drinkers into outlaws.
A coroner's report documented that 70 machine gun bullets and 2 shotgun blasts were fired during the massacre. No one was ever tried or convicted for the 7 murders that occurred up against this wall. Al
Guilty,
Capone was
politically
considered
connected,
guilty in the
prohibition
court of
practice were so
public
bold.
opinion. However, alternative theories exist.
The massacre. The garage. Happened at the garage. Oddly enough, that became a tourist attraction afterwards. The victims. Beardsley crime scene. sure the dog's not talking.
The warehouse where the massacre occurred stood until
11 wounds, 14, 15, 23.
which that made up the massacre law were numbered and carefully disassembled by Canadian businessman George Payton.
Yeah.
This is where ballistics was born. Now you can put it through, unlike the finished before. Untouchable Elliot Nest. Oh. The Bureau of Prohibition. This would become, I think, the FBI. Catches Capone. Yeah. They got him on tax evasion. Remember, that's the worst thing you can do, apparently. Tax evasion. Hoover. Yeah, Hoover was a bit of an authoritarian monster. So, you can say what he wants with being on the FBI, but he also was tapping everybody. The G-Men, Tommy gun, toy. Submachine gun. You know, if they knew what we do now, they wouldn't have been carrying those. A machine gun is the most inaccurate weapon. Because your first shot is your most accurate. Al Capone revolver. Ooh, he owned that. Pearl grip. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. It's too thin. I like a little more meat to it, but that's just me. Hoover denied the mafia ever existed until the late 50s. Huh, okay. Sounds like something else that's being denial that exists. Dillinger, Pretty Boy, Babyface Nelson, Date of Death, Place of Death. Badger is better. Show and Tell. Capone. Lucky Luciano. Though making him a prime target for police and prosecutions. And this is Target Lip Pink. Most dangerous criminal. Blah 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 blah. Louis Lemke, Bakar, famous desecration, death of fellow mobster Dutch Schultz. The Guerrilla Boys earned a reputation of violence. Attracted the mob requests for contract renewing grew into a murder inc. Ex-Dodgers. The canary can sing, but not fly. Here's murder. No question about it. Yeah, this is, I guess, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre was where ballistics were invented. Never knew that prostitution had been subsequently taken over by the mob. Huh.
Oh, I'm scared. What are you scared of? I'm kind of seafood.
Who the hell? Mike Malone's handcuffs. Those are so small. What are they handcuffed during? Is their freaking thumbs? Lindbergh ransom pamphlet. Seeing the serial numbers for 50,000 cash to be paid to the kidnappers of his son. Oh, the Lindbergh kidnapping. Yeah, FDL letter of praise. Murder Inc. Yeah, they were basically contract killers. It's a replica of the chair at Sing Sing. If you think about it, Prohibition was definitely going to cause the gangs. And in order to bring alcohol to the masses, you were going to need a hell of an organization, from people to brew it, people to transport it, and people to distribute it. So, you know, an organization was going to rise.
Stretching through the shadows.
Same thing as the drug cartels. If people want it, they're going to figure out a way to get their hands on it. Wire. Sporting life. Click menu, start Select City, navigate to the top of the plate. Okay. Northeast.
These are people's last meals? And I don't understand the place. Select a city.
Bigger than U.S.
Well, these aren't last meal. I don't know what's in the place.
Okay. Organized crime in New York is the five most powerful crime families in New York. Okay. Buffalo, latest criminal history of organized crime, powerful Buffalo, Niagara Falls. Buffalo became original members of the commission in 1931. Huh. Wait for Buffalo to get in there. Wow, the White Sox. And they never proved Shoeless Joe took any money. 1919 World Series ticket. Reds versus the White Sox. You know, I always forget that the Reds were playing. Billy Funkerman heads the New York families. Yeah, Buffalo family, Chicago, all that stuff. They took a severe hit after Prohibition was lifted, but they were into the protection racket and prostitution, and would later go into drugs, dealing drugs.
John Dillinger, Babyface Nelson, and Kelly were coming in and out of Chicago, committing crimes, going up to Wisconsin, and out.
They gave a short little film, and apparently this was a courthouse. This was a courthouse where some of the hearings on the mob. And I guess they did the same thing they do nowadays. Everyone has a convenient, faulty memory, and some people took the fifth. And I guess there was one guy who was like brazenly about it, like, if you weren't drinking it, I wouldn't have bootlegged it. Yeah, the Keffer. And if you ever got Kefferitis, that meant you had a sickness that nobody could identify, which is why you couldn't testify.
1977. Hospitals were powered in the month, leading to a wave of murder. Angelo Bernardo, he wasn't going to just testify against Lee. He knew the whole story nationally. He knew what was going on in New York, Chicago. He knew what was going on in those Las Vegas steel operation.
Some of the big players.
Quietly, with very little attention. And the
the mob in Las Vegas. Even though it was legal to gamble, they moved in. Gambling tokens. The Flamingo. The true story of Bugsy in the Flamingo Hotel. He did not, contrary to legend, the August was well established before he came. It grew 40 years before the mob arrived. Siegel eventually took such liking to the Flamingo, he muscled out. They used their strong-arm tactics to move into the... The game continues. Gambling brought tourism. Tourism brought deal for the Nevada. The mob starting. Most tourists only stayed and played in mob-connected casinos. Mobsters found themselves rubbing elbows with showbiz celebrities, found themselves busy. Yeah, the mob basically became somewhat legit. Yeah, you can get an audio tour. You can also do some experiences here. There's a distillery tour and drinking, which is way later. Firearms training, which I'm not really interested, and a crime lab, which I already know enough about that I don't really care. Yeah, Vegas was going straight. Spot the scam. Again, happening in these. Okay, let's see if I can figure this one out. How they got rid of old chips? They put them, yeah.
Pretty official, don't they?
So the mob, even though they were legit, pretty much they were still skimming by tax evasion.
Age-old mob tradition, kicking up to the boss. They would undercount the bills,
Undercount.
fill slips, take cash out of the drop boxes.
Yep, skim. Pocket some of the cash before it's officially counted.
Full of cash, millions of dollars over the years. Went to the bosses in Cleveland, Chicago, Milwaukee. Guys like Joey Dove Zayufa, Nick Ciavello, Frank Balistrero.
Cuba connection. I'll buy the place. Yeah, look at those. Landmark chip and token set. Howard Hughes to mark the whole casino's opening. To honor to his resume. Oh yeah. Howard Hughes bought the Desert Inn. From boss to businessman. Yep.
Wednesday, July 30, 1975. He called home at approximately 2:15 p.m. We have not heard from him since.
He thought he was having lunch with Anthony Giacalone, a mob boss from Detroit. The lunch never happened, and Jimmy Hoffa...
We only kill each other. Bugsy Siegel, we only kill it was supposedly meant to reassure the builder the thing wasn't true. Nobody was safe. Nevada gas chamber. Nevada was the first state to execute criminals by lethal gas. In fact, it was the first judiciary. Okay. Murder with a message. Ooh, gotta see this. Woodward 22 silencer. Prison-made weapons. Well, these were displayed in person. 32 and a 45. Machete. The Roy DeMille. Hitman. Ugh. Car bombs. Yeah, the mob was pretty violent. Or you could just go missing. Seeming Deborah Dares, Steve Fleming's 26-year-old girlfriend, one of then relationship, was found many years later. Tell the mothers and children in this section.
They would readily see that it has no place in our Constitution.
The rule of the 18th Amendment is not that it cannot be enforced, but it is that there has grown up an alliance between organized crime and the corrupt political system.
The 18th Amendment, which was drafted by and acted in constitutional majesty, this convention really is an absolute necessity.
I thought that was part of some kind of a description. I thought that was part of some kind of exhibit. Yep, amending the Constitution. The temperance movement. There was a lot behind that. The Prohibition Museum in Savannah had a whole lot more on it. Adapt or Die. Cigarettes. But Budweiser whiskey, yeah, basically taking grain and fermenting, enforcing prohibition. Basically, it was impossible. Anything you can basically do at home. Okay, that's not part of it. Birth of syndicates. It was just natural. Capone and first shop next door to Four Deuces front. His business card read a Capone antique dealer. Merchandise strictly second-hand junk. Someone actually called about buying furniture and replied, "We ain't open today." Telephone inside the Four Deuces. This phone booth stood in front of the Four Deuces, a saloon, brothel, gambling joint named after its address. 22222, Wasp and the sending Four Deuces, headquartered in Chicago. Crime syndicate of Johnny Torino and his protege Al Capone. Capone was the manager and enforcer at the Four Deuces. The building had 4 floors. The saloon, blah blah blah. The building was demolished in 1966.
The U.S. Coast Guard reports that a boat is missing at sea after its signal failed.
Rum runners.
Authorities are speculating that the Lizzie D crew of 8 may have gone down in a heavy gale. More than 4 months after his first ever solo
Yeah, the rum runners were trips that
Charles Lindbergh is still touring the country, swarmed by cheering crowds everywhere he liked his beloved
speakeasies. Untouchables movie prop. You can tell it's like close up. It's easy to see that it's fake. Look at the front. Like, yeah, that's not real wood. Not only that, the metal looks all wrong. Yeah, none of those are moving parts. Ouija board. What's over here? Double jigger lob patches to measure different quantities in one tool. Yeah, they still have those things. Anti-prohibition corkscrews. Ah, those look cool. So, leaving the Mob Museum. Oh, it's a historical place. It was a courthouse. Yeah, because they did a bunch of, this is where they had some of the hearings on the mob. Main Street, Casino and Market. Now, I guess impressions. It was good. I wish it was bigger. I think it could have been a little more precise. Like, separate the cities. Like, there would be, like, something on Capone, and then there's something else on Capone on another floor, and, like, I just, like, carry it all the way through, because Capone really was only a thing for a couple of years. I just don't think it was segmented as what I would have done, but, okay. But it's still work if you like some of that history. Right, that's the Mob Museum. On to what else there is.